gentlemen, I'm no different than any of you. In fact, I'm a lot like many of you. And all this time, while he talks about his high morals and how we have to live up to our values, the fact of the matter is we have the moral high ground. You see, while speaking at the 2010 National Prayer Breakfast, President Obama invoked health care, proclaimed that we may disagree about the best way to reform our health care system, but surely we can agree that no one ought to go broke when they get sick in the richest nation on earth. Really? Why not? This statement was meant to be another one of the president's toothpaste ad platitudes. 9 out of 10 dentists agree. But it actually exposed his extreme adherence to the Marxist ideology, which has created such a chasm between the American people and himself. It is certainly true that the majority of Americans have no interest in seeing innocent individuals struggle. That's true, financially or otherwise. Our nature, however, dictates that those struggles are a part of the human experience. And it is that very nature that limits our ability to address these struggles. I don't know anyone who wants to see people go broke for any reason. I don't know anyone who wants to see that. But the question is, at what and whose expense? It is for this reason that Obama tries to wrap his agenda in this cloak of morality, of moral superiority. But there's nothing moral about forcibly limiting the individual's ability to provide for himself and his family for the sake of political expediency in order to give it to somebody else. As I've explained before, that's not law, that's plunder. Obama suggests we have a moral obligation as a result of being the richest nation on the face of the earth. You see, this is an extremely ideological statement coming from someone who just a few weeks earlier said, I'm not an ideologue. While it's true that the United States is home to 1/4 of the world's wealth, President Obama implies that this wealth belongs to the state. The current deficits show that nothing is farther from the truth, because if all the wealth belonged to the state, we would have no deficit. The nation's wealth, in fact, resides within its private citizens. It is extremely laudable for an individual to freely commit to a portion of his wealth to the service of others. That's a great thing to do. That is a great thing to do. But there is, however, no moral obligation to do so. Finally, politicians seeking to use the iron fist of government to coerce the individual into the service of others or some dictated high virtue is not morality, it is tyranny. And again, we're just getting warmed up. But like I said, we're reintroducing, because we're videotaping this today, we're reintroducing some of our philosophies and what it is that we actually believe in here at the Conservative Republic. And no, I am not reading from a teleprompter. I do have notes, however, but they're not written on my hand.